Good morning, students. I have previously told about you the development of the female gametophyte, and today we are starting further. I'll take fertilization today. Other than this, you were also having the types of pollinating agent, cross pollination, self pollination, and all these things are given in your text. So I've told you to go through them because you've already read those things in your previous classes also, in your ninth standard also, and hopefully in 11th standard also. So I'm directly moving to the fertilization portion, and you have already gone through, so please, that is in your syllabus, you have to go through that. So I'm directly moving to the fertilization. Fertilization, as you know, that it is the union of a male and a female gamete to form a new young one. Even in the humans and in the plants, both in the fertilization is the union of a male and the female gamete. So here in a book also the definition is given that it is the process of fusion of two dissimilar sexual reproductive units. Dissimilar sexual reproductive units means one is the male gamete, other is the female gamete. So that is fertilization, and it will form something new. By the combination and fusion of two dissimilar gametes, you will get something new. So this is fertilization. So important thing in a plant gamete fertilization is a pollen pistil interaction. So pollen grain, as you know, that it is a male gamete, pistil is a female part. So what happens when the pollen falls on a pistil? If I talk that this is the female portion, this is the ovary, this whole is the ovary, this is style, ovary, and this is the stigma. So what happens, the pollen, this is the male part of it. So this male part means the pollen is coming here. So what we are saying, that pollen pistil interaction means this whole female part is called a pistil. So how do the pistil interact with the pollen? So this is very important with the point of view of fertilization, because the fertilization will take place then only when there is a pollen and pistil interaction. So for pollen and pistil interaction, what happens? If a plant is compatible, these two words I have written, compatible and incompatible. Compatible means if the pollen is of a same species as of a pistil. If I talk of example of a papaya or any of the plant in which the species is same, species is same, that is the this pistil is able to recognize the pollen, means it feels like it is of its family, it is of its species. So that one is called compatible. If I say that a pollen, this plant, this pistil is of a guava and this pollen is of mango, so they are not compatible, because these both the species, they differ from each other. If they are different from each other, we'll call it incompatible. So what happens if a pollen is compatible, means it is of same species, it moves through, the pollen tube is generated and it goes to the ovary. But if it is incompatible, if I'm incompatible, again I'll tell you that it is if it is not of the same species, right? In a simple terms, you can see that it is of different species. So if it is of different species, this pollen degenerates here only, and it dies, we can say it dies, and it does not form a pollen tube, and the procedure does not continue. So for pollen pistil interaction, the pollen has to be compatible with the pistil. Got my point? So this is clear, I hope. So what happens next is the germination of a pollen grain and growth of a pollen tube. So what happens after this, the pollen tube, if it is compatible, the pollen tubes start growing from here. And for the growth of a pollen tube, this is the stigma, this is the pollen. So stigma is having water also there, then sugars also, and so many lipids are there which are present on the stigma. So what happens, as the pollen comes here, the pollen absorbs all the water from the stigma, right? And after absorbing water, it gets swollen up. As the pollen swell up, it starts releasing cutinase. Cutinase is one of the enzyme which is present in the pollen, right? And cutinase enzyme again starts degrading this cutin. Cutin is a material which is present on the stigma only. So I'll repeat, whatever things are present on the stigma, it is having cutin, right? Then sugar is there, water is there, and all the lipids are there. So all these things are present in the stigma. The pollen has a cutinase enzyme which helps to degrade this cutin. After this, as the cutin is degraded, the pollen tube moves inside. The pollen tube, क्योंकि इसने ये degrade कर दिया है स्टिग्मा वाला part जो उसकी wall है, तो cutinase जैसे ही इसको degrade करता है, the pollen tube starts moving towards the this ovary. Now what happens with these are, there are two type of means double celled structures are there. Means the pollen can be initially two celled or it may be three celled. What does it mean, two celled and three celled? Two cell means it is having one vegetative cell and one is the male gamete. I've already told you about that, the pollen tube, when the pollen tube moves, it is having three nuclei in it, and these three nuclei are two are the male gamete and one is the female, one is the vegetative cell. So these are the three celled structures. But sometimes when a pollen comes, it is only two celled or two nuclei it is having. तो दो न्यूक्लियाई होंगे तो एक बार कई बार क्या होता है, एक मेल होता है और एक वेजिटेटिव होता है, और कई बार क्या होता है कि डायरेक्टली थ्री सेल्ड स्टेज आती है यहाँ पे, जब पोलन यहाँ पे आता है तो थ्री सेल्ड में क्या होता है, ऑलरेडी मेल गैमेट्स जो है वो दो पार्ट्स में डिवाइड हो गए होते हैं और वन इज द वेजिटेटिव. गॉट इट. सो थ्री सेल्ड स्टेज में आपका प्रॉपर बना हुआ है. टू वाले में क्या है, आपके दो ही सेल हैं एंड दिस विल अगेन डिवाइड टू फॉर्म अ the male gamete will again divide to form two male gametes and one vegetative will be there. Got it. So after this the pollen tube starts moving. तो pollen tube जैसे जैसे move कर रही है तो after moving it will move inside the ovary, and ovary I have already told you the structure. This type of structure is present in the ovary. This is a embryo sac, this is a micropylar region, and here it was having three cells. These were called antipodal cells, these were called synergid cells, and this center one was called the egg cell, right? This and this is called the synergid cell, and this three are called antipodal cell. So this is the apparatus which is present here. So when the pollen tube comes, it comes and it starts going inside this. Okay. So the fertilization takes place. So in this ovary, this is now what happens. The pollen tube is coming. It is not always like it is having a same path. In different type of species, the pathway is different and the pathway is different. I have told you here, this diagram I have drawn. Sometimes it is the pollen tube is coming like this and it is going through the micropyle. It is called porogamy. If this pollen tube is coming from the chelizal side, this is cheliza, so it is called chelizogamy, and if it is coming from the intubements, it is called mesogamy. So these three diagrams are shown here in the book also. You can see here and go through the text. So these are the three diagrams which I have told you that from where the this tube is coming, the pollen tube, right? So this is the way from which the pollen tube is coming. So last one is your this discharge of a male gamete in a pollen tube. This you have already read, what is double fertilization and triple fusion. So double fertilization is like when this comes from, these are the pathways from any of the ways this can come. Now what happens when the male gamete is coming? So male gamete can come inside, it fuses with the egg, and second one here there are two polar nuclei. तो दो मेल गैमेट आ रहे हैं, एक मेल गैमेट अगर एग से फ्यूज करता है तो one fertilization has taken place here and second one will take place here, right? So two fertilization, this is called double fertilization, and this only is called triple fusion. This I have told you in 11th standard also, if you remember. So the triple fusion means यहाँ पे दो already polar nuclei हैं और एक मेल गैमेट आके जो है वो एक और जुड़ जाता है, तो ये तीन हो गए यहाँ पे. That is why it is called triple fusion. And double fertilization means one is fertilizing with one male gamete is fertilizing with the egg cell and second is fertilizing with the polar nuclei. Got it? So this is double fertilization and this. So this is your how the male gamete is reaching the female egg. Okay. So meanwhile I'll take this only. You go through the text. Thank you.